Is a fourth felony offender. He has a parole eligibility date of June the 13th of 2023, adjusted good time date of June the 13th of 2042, a full term date of June 8th of 2043. He is currently serving a 40-year sentence for the charge of manslaughter after having been adjudicated a habitual offender. His sentencing date is January the 20th of 2025. Is that all accurate, Mr. Robertson?
Yes, sir.
This case was assigned to Ms. Vernazza. Ms. Vernazza will begin our interview process. Would you please answer any questions she has?
Yes,
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Robertson, good morning. How are you today?
I'm doing fine.
And sir, how old are you?
I'm 61.
And how long have you been in jail?
almost 20 years.
Yeah, so 40 years something. As I looked through the information that was provided to us, I noticed that in this case, the victim was your wife, Ms. Deborah. And you gave several different stories to law enforcement about what really happened.
Yes, I
What
do.
happened? Tell us now.
I take full responsibility of what happened.
What did happen?
We were had an argument that I'm sorry, I'm a little nervous. We had an argument and we went home. Then I was sitting on the porch, she was sitting out in the yard, and we were arguing with back and forth one another. But before that happened, she had a gun, and I had took the gun from her, and I was sitting on the steps with the gun, and the gun was cocked back, and I went to let the hammer down on the gun, and the gun went off, went off, and it killed her. I'm sorry. I mean, it was a bad thing. It was an accident that should never happen, and I take full responsibility for it.
So you shot her in the back.
In the side, hit her in the side.
Well, that's different than any story that I've seen in the record so far. So you have quite a lengthy criminal history in Arkansas, Texas, and Louisiana. And you have an outstanding detainer, a federal detainer now. What is that for?
Detainers are on me that they're no longer. I had my mother check on them and find out about them, and they're no longer already did the Fed time. It was what the federal detainer was on. And the one in Arkansas, didn't you say Arkansas? They no longer have no detainers on me. I had all the detainers were on me, checked out, and I no longer had no detainers on me.
Well, I'll ask the board. My record shows they're still active. So you obviously had a history of substance abuse. So what have you done to address that problem?
Well, I've been through all the classes and living a balanced anger management, victim awareness, and I'm AANA. I'm a facilitator, and I teach the 12-step drug program, and I'm trying to give back to the community, trying to help whoever I can help with their problem with drugs and alcohol, because I really lived through it, been through it, and understand what a person's going through.
So is your addiction drugs, alcohol, or both?
My addiction was methamphetamine.
When did you start using meth?
I started using meth when I was about 18 years old.
That's how you did you smoke any marijuana?
Yes, ma'am. I smoke marijuana and I drink. And, ma'am,
what was the first illegal drug that you used?
Smoking weed, smoked weed was my first drug that I ever did when I smoked weed.
And what about alcohol? You see, alcohol was or was not a problem for you?
No, alcohol wasn't no problem for me. I was just an occasional drinker. I wasn't an alcoholic.
Right. All right, let me ask the warden about, what he has to say about you. Could you also, Warden Goodwin, address the detainer's opinion?
Yes, ma'am, my records are similar to yours. I did not show where they have been inactivated, but we would certainly follow through and check on those, at the conclusion of this hearing to determine if they're still active or not, but I don't have anything saying they're not active. And I have a federal detainer listed and one in Arkansas as well, so I showed 2 detainers at this point. As far as Owen Robertson's institutional record, it's pretty good. Mr. Nazi doesn't have a bad institutional record. He had a fight about a little over a year ago. He and another individual got into an argument over television, and the other individual shoved him, and he hit him back, and they threw a couple of punches, and that was pretty much it. They were both of them. Robinson in his 60s. I think he's 61, 62 years old, and the individual he's fighting is probably in his 70s. And so it really wasn't that significant of an incident, but other than that, I think his previous write-up prior to that was 2015. He's been here a number of years, and he does really good work taking care of Times Square for us, keeping our flower beds looking good. He's a hard worker. He doesn't require any supervision, anything like that. He's got a good institutional record, and that's pretty much my comment, Mr. Knott, unless you have any further questions.
No, sir, thank you, I appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Robertson, if you were successful today, and assuming there is no detainer, what would be your transition plan?
Pardon me, I didn't understand the question.
What's your transition plan to make parole? What do you plan?
Oh, I'm gonna attend and keep going to AANA, Alcohol Anonymous, and I really want to be a sponsor so I can help other people. I got a job lined up waiting on me. The man's gonna hire me straight off the bat, Nathan Hale, oil company, and they told me that the job is waiting on me, and I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna take care of my family. My mom's like 80 years old. She's blind, going blind. She can't see, and she can't drive no more, and none of that. And I'm gonna go home and finish taking care of my family while I spend what time I got left with my mom. And I'm gonna do the right thing. I know there's no more drug life for me for sure. Come around me with drugs, and I'll soon call law on him because I feel like he's trying to send me back to prison. I mean, that's the way I feel about it.
Thank you, Mr. Robinson. Thank you, Mr. Robinson. Now we'll hear from your supporters, Ms. Connie Fitzgerald, your sister.
Yes, this is
Yes,
Connie
ma'am, we-
Fitzgerald.
Yeah, go ahead.
What do you say?
Carol, go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us what you like about your brother.
Okay, I'm Connie Fitzgerald. Owen Hugh Robertson is my brother. I have supported him ever since he's been in jail. And we've been waiting on him to come home. We need him at home. We've got my mom. She just turned 80 in March. And we need him here for them to spend the rest of the time. Owen's a good person. I've been waiting on him to come home. I know I miss my brother a lot. He's really changed a lot because I go see him over there in jail. I'm a little bit nervous about this.
All right, that's okay. Doing
Yes.
very well.
Okay. He's been gone for so long that
We've got Owen.
we're all getting old. And I'm ready for him to come home. He's been gone. I feel like he's done his time on this, and he's changed. He's really changed a lot. Because I go see him and we just need him home. It's time for him to come home.
Thank you, Ms. Fitzgerald. How
You're
about, we'll see if Ms. Carol Robertson, Mr. Robertson's mother. Robertson, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. I'm Carol Robertson. I'm Owen's mother. I have prayed for and dreamed for this day, for a chance for him to come at home and be back with family. Owen always helped with me with anything that I was doing, even when he was a boy, from working in the garden or cutting grass or whatever we were doing. And I checked on some things for him that he asked me to check on. I talked to a supervisor at the United States Courthouse in Shreveport, and they told me, I talked to a supervisor, his name was Don Turner. He said there were no federal holds on Owen. And I checked with Arkansas, and they said they have no record of him and no holds. So, but you know, I kind of did what I could, thinking it would help, but I understand that the people at David Wade will have to do all the checking. So, but I just tried to help as much as I could. I'm pretty much housebound now and leave when my daughter or one of my grandchildren take me out. I have rheumatoid arthritis really bad and getting harder to get around. And I have a daughter with multiple sclerosis that is 63 now, and she wasn't able to be here, but she too would like to see Owen home. And she's housebound. And so you can see where Owen would be a big help in helping take care of us. Connie Fitzgerald, my younger daughter, she has psoriatic arthritis and RA. And my son, David Robertson, who is here, has pulmonary hypertension. So yes, Owen is much needed at home. And not only do we need Owen at home, we love Owen, and we would like to see him free with what his life.
Thank you
So
very
this
much.
hearing, is an answer to prayer.
Thank you very much for your comments. Now we hear from Mr. David Robertson, who is Mr. Owen Robertson's brother. Mr. Robertson.
Yes, sir. My name is David Robertson. Owen's my brother, my only brother. And he's been away for a long time. I know everything that happened was always a tragedy. You know, not only I lose my brother, I lost the rest of the family. I lost my sister-in-law, lost nieces, nephews, and
That's right.
lost them all.
The whole family.
It was a tragedy. I would like to see my brother back home. I mean, I'm disabled. I need a good fishing partner. For my mom especially, I would love to see him come home for my mom, because I know she's been waiting for a long time. And I just
And we've lost
pray for the best.
We
I
lost
love my
Daddy.
brother.
Thank you, Mr. Robertson. We appreciate your comments. Now we hear from the
Thank you.
opposite. Shatanya Keener. Keener, if you would, please. Thank you on mute, Mr. Keener. Yes, we can hear you.
My name is Tanya Keener, and Debbie was our mother. I have my brothers and my uncles, my husband, my aunts and my sister-in-law here to all support us. We don't think that 19 years of being in jail is long enough because Mama's never coming home. She didn't get to watch her kids grow up, and she don't get to see her kids. So we think he needs to stay in jail for the remainder of his sentence. I'm sorry, but that's just the way we feel. We're the ones that are suffering for what he did, for his selfish needs. I don't know what the reason was, and I don't care. We love her and we miss her so much. And we've written letters to y'all, and I hope y'all get letters that friends and family have written to y'all stating why he needs to stay in jail. We have a lifetime to go without her. Her grandkids want to know who she was. So we think he needs to stay in jail.
Thank you very much. Check comments, and we did get it from other people, so thank you very much for your comments.
Thank you.
Roberts, anything you'd like to say before the board votes?
I didn't hear what you said.
Anything you'd like to say before the board votes, Mr. Robertson?
Yes, I would. It's that I suffered too. I know that the kids went through hell. They had to go through hell, and I know that they were hurt. And I never ever wanted anything to like this to ever hope. And I know that they're hard. That they had to go through all the pain and the suffering and everything, and I feel for them, and I'm sorry, and I hope one day that they can forgive me for taking their mother from them, and I never ever wanted this to happen, and I got a hole in my heart too. It ain't a day that goes by that I don't think about it. It ain't a night that I close my eyes that I don't think about it, because I loved her too. I loved her too. And I can't change what happened. I just ask for forgiveness of it. And I hope one day that they can forgive me, because I forgive them. And I know that they suffered. And I'm sorry. I'm very sorry that it happened. And I hurt too. Every day I feel the pain. And I'm sorry. And I would love to make amends in any way I could to help them if I could. I'm sorry.
Thank you, Mr. Robertson. Has the panel ready to vote? Yes. Mr. Moss?
Yes. Mr. Robertson, you seem to be sincere in your remorse. I don't think you've been honest with us today. I gave you the opportunity to be honest and tell us what really happened. And your story doesn't, it conflicts with what was presented at trial, the evidence that was presented at trial. I would like to see you take victim awareness. There's no indication that I can see at least. I know the component of that in the pre-release 100 hours, but there's a separate victim awareness class. I think you would benefit from that. You have a history of revocation. You have a lengthy criminal history. Done well in recent years. You had the hiccup in 2021 with the fight, but I'm just not ready to grant you parole today. My vote today based on the very strong opposition from law enforcement, from the DA's office, and from the family of the victim is to deny it.
Not to Mr. Rucci.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Robertson? You're
Sorry.
lost. You lost my vote on Ms. Benaz's first question. Tell us what happened. You didn't take responsibility for your action.
Yes, sir.
This did not take responsibility for your action.
Yes, I,
Excuse me, sir, I'm talking.
pardon me.
You had a judge trial. You went to trial and you chose not to be tried by a jury. You were judged by a judge. You decided that you were guilty on the evidence that was presented in the way that your wife was murdered. And he chose to give you the maximum sentence for manslaughter. You have an extensive criminal background in multiple states. You have opposition from the legal community. Overwhelming express opposition by multiple members of the victim's family. I have 8 or 9 letters of strong opposition from the victim's family. And 19 years is just an insufficient amount of time in retribution for the deliberate murder of a human being. For all the above reasons, I vote to deny your request.
Mr. Robertson, you have 2 votes to deny your parole. I agree with my colleagues and all of their comments. Your parole has been denied. Good luck to you.
You know.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor Bell.
Thank you.